Yes, please.
Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Phyrefli's Video Digest. As always, thanks a bunch for watching. For this edition of the Digest, as the background gameplay, I'm using round 6 from last weekend's Battlefield 3 Tournament.com matches. As you can see, we're on Oman. It's almost a full 64 player server. I think we only missed 1 or 2 players. And we are the defenders. You can hear some of the voices in the background, no doubt you can hear mine as well. I was one of the squad leaders in this game, and I have to say, I fairly enjoyed it. This was the 6th match, and as we'd already won the previous 5, we were feeling pretty sanguine about it. And you'll see that in perhaps our slightly cavalier attitude at times. So what's on the menu for this edition? Well, first of all, I want to touch on the last edition of the Digest that I put out. Then I want to move on to some of the things that are coming in Battlefield 3. And finally, I just want to mention a little bit about teamwork. So as I mentioned, I'm going to let this video carry on playing in the background as I'm talking. Once I've finished, it'll carry on finish to the end. I hope you watch it because it is a good video. And it's a really good indication of how teamwork can work really well in the Battlefield series if you've got the right people to do that. Now, as I said, I want to touch on the last edition of the Digest, and the reason why I want to do that is because I think I may have stamped on a few people's toes, deliberately. One night I went from 2 dislikes to 22 dislikes, with no other activity in about 5 views on that video. The number of views was very low, the number of dislikes was extraordinary, and I'm pretty sure that's a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of hackers, who've looked at that video and actually realised that the truth is out. Yes, this is confirmation that hackers really do have small penises, and they don't want that truth to come out, and that's why I think that they voted down the video. So remember, you see somebody obviously hacking 250 to 0 on Operation Metro. When you look at that guy, type into your chat, "You have a small penis," and he'll never bother you again. Well, I might be lying a bit about the last bit, but I'm not lying about the first bit. So they seem to have got a bit hacked off by me, which is great, which just means that they can't deal with the truth. The second thing I wanted to touch on about that video is Metabans. These guys are going from strength to strength, and some people don't understand how Metabans works. It's like Twitter. You have the option of following different admins. You also have the option of protecting players on your server or server. So for example, you've got a clanmate. As you can see, I just accidentally shot my own clanmate there. A bit stupid of me. So you can protect your own clanmates on your own servers in case of accidental or deliberate banning on other servers by admins that you follow. It's not like PB bans or GGC. It does not follow that same methodology. Although it streams, it's purely in the hands of the admins who is and isn't banned. Now, you don't have to follow an admin. So for example, if you've got an admin you don't like or a community you don't like, you don't need to follow them. That's not required. It's your choice who you follow. It's your choice whether or not you protect your own players. That's one of the things that makes it such a fantastic service. In fact, it's doing so well, they're now calling for donations from players. That's because of the cost of running service. So if you do use Metabans and you've got a bit of free cash, consider donating to them. They're doing a great job, and I think it's a very, very worthwhile service. So moving on now to some of the news that's coming along. There was a tweet this week which mentioned something about the patch. This is expected in February. Now, we know that there's going to be a huge upgrade to the Como roles, which is something which is most certainly required because the current Como roles is pants.
Yep, it's now.
What I'm hoping as well as just the Como roles though is that we get a whole bunch of different things in there as well. The game is, as we all know, still lacking certain vital parts. A spectate mode is obvious, it's in there. We've seen it as a glitch and we've seen it on some videos on YouTube. Why it's not actually in the game is completely beyond me. It is something that they patched into Medal of Honor afterwards. So I'm hoping very much, if they're taking such a huge amount of time to get this patch sorted with so much additional information and so many additional features in it, it really should have a spectate mode in there. partly to deal with hackers, because it's always easy to record them, pass them on to DICE or PB, but also for people like myself. I'd like to be able to record some videos using spectate mode. That would be fantastic. Just not something I can do at the moment. So DICE, if you listen to me, or if listen to the community, never mind me just mouthing off here, listen to the community, we need a spectate mode, both to enjoy the game much more and to deal with hackers. One other thing that's come up, and this came up a couple of weeks ago, is that Demise99 or Demise99, otherwise known as Alan Kurtz, asked for an awful lot of feedback on weapons changes and balances for the upcoming patch. This is great news because it means that he's actually asking for what we the community want, and hopefully he'll incorporate that into what he does. The bad side of this, obviously, is that the community half the time doesn't know what it wants. How many times have you seen one set of people turn around and say, yep, this needs nerfing, and somebody else turn around and say, no, it needs buffing? As I've been looking through the forums this morning, I've seen one thread which was on transport helicopters, which according to this poster are OP, overpowered. How in the hell can you consider a transport helo overpowered? It's got jets, which can easily take it out. It's got javelins with auto lock on, if used with a soft lam or something similar. It's got several other different weapon systems that will bring it down. So why on earth would you consider that to be OP? And to keep it up in the air, you need a pilot, 2 gunners and 1 or 2 NGs repairing it. Yet this guy thought that it was completely OP. Why did he think that? Because one transport helo managed to wipe out, or at least badly attack, his team that he was when he was fighting against his transport helo. That's not an overpowered transport helicopter, my friend. That's a crap team. And that is one thing which you actually see a lot. It's not the balance, it's not the weapons, it's not the vehicles, it's the fact that your team isn't doing its job. Now, as you can see if you're watching this background video, there's a lot of teamwork involved. What we've done is we move forward to their 4 bases. Just watch that plane blow up in the background. We move forward to their 4 bases and basically rolled across their entire line, and that's what we've just done. But that's a whole bunch of 32 people working together, and that's what teamwork can do, and that shows you just what we should be aiming for. Now obviously this is a private match with a group of players who are on TeamSpeak and working together to achieve that. This doesn't happen in pub servers, partly because of the lack of combo roles, although that probably is incidental, but largely because of the lack of VoIP, in-game VoIP. Battle log doesn't cut it. That's one of the daftest things I've ever seen. It's great if you got a bunch of friends. If you've got a bunch of friends, in most cases you're already in the community, you've got your own TeamSpeak. So I'm hoping that one of the things that we're seeing in the patch is actually going to be squad VoIP. Now I know some people will turn around and say, hey, we've seen this in COD and it doesn't work, can you get a 12-year-old child going rah, 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 rah? Or some Russian plonker turning around and saying some language just to simply spam the chat. And I'm just choosing a Russian at random. It could be Spanish, it could be French, it could be British, it could be English, it could be American, it could be any kind of nationality. The point being that people have seen this, and it does happen. But that's why you've got a mute button, and please don't moan about things which can be easily fixed. Just makes you look stupid. So I'm hoping that squad VoIP comes in. Now back in 2142 I used to play a lot on the Monkey Gamers server. Superb group of people. Absolutely brilliant. And I used to play on there a lot with a guy called Buckshots, who is a member of Dead Friends, or actually started Dead Friends if I'm correct. One of the best squad leaders I've ever served under. In fact, I've got on my channel, I believe, some old 2142 videos which show just the level of teamwork that that game could engender with the right squad, the right people in the right server, but still in a public environment. You don't get that much in BO3 because you don't have that squad VoIP, and it means that team members cannot work together quickly and efficiently. So, you know, fingers crossed that DICE come out with some of these things with the new patch. We should see in February Believe me, I'll be mourning from the rooftops, or at least yelling from the rooftops if it's not there. But by the same token, if it is there, I'll be shouting as well. As many as you have probably guessed, I'm not a DICE fanboy, but I am pro-DICE. There's several reasons for that. I think the games that they produce are fantastic, but I've also had the pleasure of having some direct contact with Zinto, or Daniel Matros. He's been nothing but courteous, quick and professional in all my dealings with him. And I know he gets a lot of flack from the community, especially when, heaven forbid, he actually takes a holiday. Apparently DICE employees aren't supposed to do that. He is a great guy. One-to-one is a great guy, and I think a lot of the flack he gets from the community is just... yeah, it's not warranted, guys, it really isn't. So going back to teamwork, as you can see on this particular game, we work together very well. If you're looking for a clan, I will just put out a quick shout out for my own, which is Eurogamers.eu. We accounted for roughly a third of the players on our team in this game, which is higher than normal, to be fair. And we had a whale of a time. I'll say, in this particular game, if you watch it to the end you'll see the result, but if you look at the flags at the moment you can see what it's going to be. We won this and we got a straight 6-0 win out of this, which is good because at the end of the last TOD, which was played in Bad Company 2, we got our asses kicked. Last 2 or 3 matches we lost something like 6-0. Kudos to the Eagles, the guys on the other team, they did really well towards the end and they managed to pull that TOD back and beat the living crud out of us. Well, that's my comments for this digest. I'm going to leave you watching the rest of this gameplay. I hope you enjoy it. As I say, we did fairly well, we did win in the end. Mostly by rolling up their back line initially and then just making sure that we didn't lose as many tickets as they lost. And you can see as I'm talking now, it's what, 129 to us, 72 to them. So please enjoy the gameplay. Thanks a bunch for listening again to what I had to say. If you like this video, please give it a like. Hey ho. If you did enjoy it even more than that, then please give me a sub. Every person that subs to me, I check out that channel, and if you've got some good videos on there, I'll sub back to you as well. I'll say, enjoy the video, thanks again for watching, and take care. G Hotel.
Vehicle extraction, please. Okay, I spotted an enemy LAV. Come in. Атакуем цель! Proceed with caution. Hostile jeep spotted. Over.
Right, let's push on the left side.
Hey, I've spotted an enemy jeep. Надо атаковать цель! Эй! Куда идешь? Вернись обратно!
They're shooting from the building across.
LAV's coming across from Delta now.
Hostile tank spotted in your area.
And they're on G as well.
Enemy tank on you.
The objective, I repeat, we have lost the objective.
Tank's down. Need to pull G back, guys.
The objective has been secured. Enemy soldier spotted. Over.
I know it's cheap, but what the hell? Don't destroy it, just shoot them as the rear respawn.
Okay.
It's not going to go down well on the video, but what the hell? Oh, it's gone now.
Should have left it in such an obvious place.
Yeah. Good game, guys. Well pulled back.
Yeah, well done, everyone.